Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Santa Maria here, and welcome back to Elfmas. Yes, we are deep in the makeup bag, but guess what? Today we're gonna go very, very deep. We're gonna take a trip down memory lane because today's topic is we're gonna be revisiting and reviewing iconic makeup releases. Yes, and most importantly, would I still repurchase these, rebuy these again today? Would they still hit the same today? So this is gonna be fun. I had a lot of time on my hands, in my head anyway. I got excited at the thought of doing this topic, and I figured for my other fellow recovering makeup addicts, this would be a nice, fun trip to do during the holidays. So grab a drink, grab a beverage, grab a snack, honey, because yeah, we about to take it all the way back. We're about to take it all the way back. But before we do that, elves, y'all know what time it is first? Lipstick of the day, everyone. We went with a liquid lipstick that has a little bit of shimmer in it. Let me know what you think. And this is from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. This is the color Sad Girl. Yes, Sad Girl liquid lipstick. It's a shimmery wine red color, perfectly ideal for this time of year. So that's what we're rocking on the lips. Fragrance of the day, everyone. Fragrance of the day, we went with Tom Ford Noir Parfum. I love this stuff. It's kind of spicy and it's very sexy to me. And I just was feeling this mood. I keep on forgetting. I thought this was the big bottle. No, this is the 1.7 bottle. But this looks like a big bottle, and yeah, you smell this even at the end of the day. It's good stuff. Let's take a moment and let's get into this here old but goodie makeup. The first product up actually was created in the 1960s, so yeah, this is real old, honey. She pushing 60, but she blew up and came to fame in the modern era in the year 2013. When I say this is a product of social media as well as reality TV, and this is none other than the Nye Luxury Powder, specifically the banana powder right here, everyone. I mean, this powder was everywhere, and it's because it was famed and favored to be that Mario, Makeup by Mario, the brand now in Sephora. Yes, the makeup artist Mario, he used to do, well, he still does Kim's makeup now, but Kim Kardashian's makeup. A picture was shown of her baking with this light bright yellow powder, and everybody swore up and down some kind of way it became banana powder. So next thing you know, this powder right here, which has existed again since the 60s, it flew off of the shelves. Y'all, this powder is so affordable. It's only like $10 to $20. Me personally, I remember tracking it down at one of our theater stores here in my city, and I remember they was like, yeah. I remember walking in being all excited during that time. They was like, do you have that powder? I was like, yeah, we have all of it now. I was like, oh, of course, being young and naive, I'm thinking it's just this one product. I walk in, there's a whole wall of Midnight powders, y'all, like a complete line. They make so many other colors that a lot of us really should have been using, because y'all, real talk, this color is way too light for me. Like, it's way too light. So this powder was iconic. It launched the whole baking powder movement. I mean, hello. This powder right here walked so the Laura Mercier powder could run, that a lot of people still buy to this day. But never forget, the craze started right here. And then yes, I got smart and I did buy the correct color for me, which is camel. I enjoy this color so much. So therefore, you all, no, I would not repurchase this luxury banana powder. And as you can see, it used to get a lot of love. This is my original bottle of it. Good stuff though. The next one up is from Becca Cosmetics. I mean, because we can't talk iconic makeup without talking MAC somewhere on this list. I mean, hello. It had a whole moment and it was so worthy. And okay, you all, now we're going to take it up. We're going to scale up to the early 1990s, you all. Yes, childhood for me. And that's when we got the infamous iconic, oh my goodness, and I've actually gone back to wearing it, and this is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. Yes, now granted, I had to wait till about roughly 2018 to get my shade. I wear the shade NC46, but alas, for the sake of this video, we're gonna go by when it first launched. MAC Studio Fix Fluid, the reason this foundation was so iconic was it was one of the first shade ranges that had somewhat of something for everybody. Now, undertones and all that is questionable. Getting your actual match is a different situation, but this was one of the first brands that had a nice array of shade rating. You had your NWs, your NCs, you had your Cs, your Ns. It was a whole thing. But the most important thing about why this foundation was so iconic was literally this foundation and everybody's skin tone was compared to this color. Like, YouTubers back in the day would be like, okay, well, I'm a shade NC42 as a reference for those that are watching this video. This became the benchmark shade range of foundations to give people an idea of what to look for, what to shop for. This right here, the shade finder, to me can be credited going back to this, in my opinion. That's why this foundation is iconic. Is it necessarily the best foundation for everybody? No, but this became the benchmark. So for therefore, you are an icon in my eyes. And yes, I would repurchase this today because I have gone back to it, and this foundation is so pretty. Oh my God, it's so pretty. The next up, we're gonna take it up to the late 90s, specifically 1999. Prince, I know, right? Gonna party like it's 1999, love it. Can I believe you all, when I did my research for this video, I did not realize this blush was this old, but the way they talk about it, you would think it just came out last year. And this is none other than the Nars Orgasm Blush. How many collections have we seen? Every holiday collection, every summer collection, whatever, it's gonna have the Orgasm Blush in it. It's the most iconic blush. This peachy pink color with a little bit of gold sheen, this blush was everywhere. Like, it's been everywhere. This blush has literally ruled the 2000s and on. I mean, Orgasm, you can still buy it. They came out with Super Orgasm, which I actually own. It's in my blush drawer somewhere. They had Orgasm X. They came out with a super size of this blush. I mean, this blush, you can't escape it. I owned the original at some point. I don't know what happened to it. I probably gave it away or put it in my makeup artistry kit because it was cute, but it wasn't the best color for my skin tone. Yes, peachy pink is seen as universally flattering, but no. In fact, no, my favorite Nars blush, I'm actually wearing it today, it's my all-time favorite, is Sin. It's a more of a berry color, and yeah, I think this is a better match for me. So concerning Orgasm Blush, no, I would not rebuy that, even though it's still available today. You can probably get it in the holiday set now, but it don't work for my skin tone, so that's a no for me. This one right here, this one almost needs a moment of silence because 1999 also gave us another iconic hit, and the world was just never the same after this. I mean, this is none other than from Becca Cosmetics, and you are not a lipstick wearer if you do not own this lipstick. I don't care, period. This is none other than the iconic Ruby Woo lipstick. Yes, 1999 gave us Ruby Woo. Ruby Woo is the most iconic retro matte texture lipstick ever. This lipstick stays. This lipstick, we sold out of it all the time in December, like during the holidays and in Valentine's. Ruby Woo flew off the shelves. It continues to fly off the shelves. Your average girl wears it. Your celebrity wears it. Your makeup artist still has it in their kit. This is the most iconic red lipstick. No other red can touch this lipstick. It's the most sold. It's still a bestseller to this day on MAC's website. I mean, the girls are still wearing it. I still have a tube, okay? Like, it's one of those colors that I will keep in my collection. Like, even if I got a back to MAC on my empties to get a fresh tube of Ruby Woo, yes. Many have tried to duplicate it. There's been tons of dupe lists. That's cute, but ain't nothing like the original Ruby Woo. And finally, in 2021, fall 2021, this year to be exact, Ruby Woo is finally getting its true justice, and they came out with a whole Ruby Woo collection where it comes out in multiple textures and formulas. But still, at the end of the day, y'all know I'm rocking with the original bullet tube, and yes, I probably will wear this on Christmas Day because I mean, it's holiday red. Love it. All right, everyone, we've been a fast forward through the 2000s, and we're gonna make a pit stop right here at 2010. Yes, 2010. That was a fun year. Good times. And this year gave us a palette that is actually low-key still haunting us to this day. Well, its brothers and sisters are still haunting us today, and that is none other than from Urban Decay. Urban Decay launched their original Naked palette, and this is an original Naked palette from that era. As you can see, look how dusty it is and how banged up it is. It has its battle wounds, it's tried and true. And for the sake of this here video, I'm gonna open it and show you this original palette This palette right here had a hold on the beauty community. It stayed sold out. You had to call and get it reserved or try to rush down to the store to get it. It was everywhere. This palette was insane. Like, it was insane. And it launched a whole era. Then we got the Naked 2, the Naked 3, which I still have the Naked 3 actually. We have the Naked Heat palette. I have that one too still. We got a Naked Cherry. They got a Smoke Wild Wild West. It's the Honey. They've made so many other Naked palettes that actually we are tired of that. But never forget, this is where it all started. So therefore, this is the one that makes the list. This was the original basic palette that you could do everyday colors with, as well as do a smoky eye with. True story, I used to do a lot of makeup looks on clients with this thing. I didn't like it so much for myself because, we're gonna be honest, this was kind of an ashy palette. So truthfully, I would not repurchase this again today. And luckily I can't because it got discontinued in 2018. So there's that, fixed itself. We're about to take a nice trip on over to 2012. And yes, MAC gave us another iconic gem in that year. This is a gem that I literally lost sleep over. My life was forever changed. Yes, this color had a hold on black girls. Let me tell y'all right now, in the community, for the culture. And this is none other than MAC Heroin Lipstick right here. Yes, Heroin was originally launched in 2012 as part of the Real Sexy Summertime collection. I so remember this ad campaign like it was yesterday because it was just so bright. But the Heroin Lipstick is the one that stole the show. And you all, when I say this color sold out immediately, there was so many dupes made. There was so many resellers going on. Like, people were losing their ish over this lipstick. And luckily MAC listened and made it permanent in December of 2013. Because I remember it launched at 6 a.m. I was up at 5:30 that morning to place my order. I sure was. And that's when I got my lipstick. I'm still very proud of that to this day. Alright, 2012 gave us another icon. This time it's another eyeshadow palette. Yes, spoiler alert. This is from the brand Lorac, or Carol spelled backwards. Yes, that's really what the brand name is. And this is none other than the Lorac Pro Palette. As you can see, mine is from that era because look how bad it looks. I had to dig for this one. And this is what it looks like. This was your first palette that gave you half shimmers and half mattes that matched at the same time. So this palette made so much sense when it came out. And this was like a fave of makeup artists at the time. So of course, everybody thought they was a makeup artist back then. So you wanted to buy what the makeup artist had. So yeah, 2012, I marched on down to Ulta and I got my hands on this bad boy. And yeah, do I still use it today? No, because looking at it, I can see it being honestly seeming a little chalky. But you know what? After this video, I might play in it a little bit more just to try to rediscover the magic here that was the Lorac Pro Palette. But yes, this was the perfect smoky eye basic. You can go from everyday to night with this palette. It was great to travel with. So in theory, yes, I would repurchase it again, only because I have seen that they've reformulated this palette and redone it, and I'm very intrigued to see what the modern version of this looks like. So I actually might end up getting a new one because my old one looks a little chalky to me. Okay, y'all, 2012 was a vibe. Let me tell you why. 2012 gave us, in my opinion, the first iconic highlighter. And the first iconic highlighter, when I say iconic, meaning in the YouTube era, the social media era, this iconic highlighter was everywhere and it wasn't everywhere at the same time. And this is none other than MAC Whisper of Guilt. Yes, the original one came out in 2012. People were in a frenzy. It came out with some other in Extreme Dimension skin finishes, which is great. But Whisper of Guilt is the one that stole the show and stole everybody's heart. And people was buying it on eBay, reselling it, paying $100 for it. It was crazy. So much so, like, people, when I say people begged and begged and begged, wrote emails in, complained, begged, pleaded. Luckily, it didn't fall on deaf ears. MAC re-released it in 2016, which it instantly sold out again. Then it went back to being limited edition. People had to beg, beg, beg again. And then luckily in 2017, during the holiday collection, they brought it back out. And that's when I was able to get mine. I'm like, yo, I worked for the company during this time. I couldn't get one. Like, it was just bad. But I finally got it, guys. And this is my version from the 2017 holiday collection, the Snowball collection. And I still wear this highlighter to this day. But the best part, though, is they made it permanent in 2018 in the traditional, like, matte black packaging. So yes, I kind of actually wouldn't mind picking up a backup of this because I really still like this highlighter so much and I still wear it to this day. Love it. All right, y'all, we are in the year 2014. So 2014, this was the year of the sculpted face, and nobody understood this trend better than Anastasia Beverly Hills, because ABH gave us the iconic, I have to say it 3 times. They gave us the contour kit, y'all. We got the contour kit. This was the original one, which would later be classified as the light to medium one. Then they came out with like a tan to deep and some darker shades. You all, this right here caused such a freaking frenzy. This kit was like $40, and of course the middle shade had a banana, and it literally was called banana because, again, going back to the midnight banana powder craze. Just saying, you had to have a baking powder in your kit that had literally the name banana in it. And Anastasia understood the hype and understood what the girls wanted. So this kit was everything. They even came out with this huge pro book of refill pans that was just insane that people were trying to buy. I'm like, why do you need those if you're not on MUA? You just don't. You just need a little kit like this. And honestly, this is almost too much for a regular person. It's too much, y'all. So honestly, would I repurchase this one again? No. But the good thing is, though, if you do want to still get this and relive that moment, it's still available on the website. I checked when I was doing the research for this video. You can still buy this, and it's on sale. This one is such a gimmick to me, but it's a gimmick that worked. This is from Too Faced, y'all. Too Faced in 2014. Oh my goodness, 2014. Too Faced in 2014 gave us the iconic chocolate bar palette. Yes. Why do I say this was a gimmick? Because yes, it looks like an actual chocolate bar, and it smells like a chocolate bar. It was said to be made with actual cocoa powder dust. I'm trying to see, can I still smell it? Because this is an original one, by the way. It still smells like cocoa all these years later. Okay, good job, Too Faced. This is what the palette looks like on the inside. Again, this is another one that's been sitting in the corner. Yeah, this palette was all the rage, and this like spawned a whole new era. They had a white chocolate bar palette, the gingerbread, the peach palette, which was also iconic later, but this is the palette that started the whole palette craze with Too Faced. This right here. And unfortunately, you all, guess what? I can't believe, you know, it being so iconic. This is now discontinued, which I was really surprised to see because of how well and overhyped this palette was. Because let me tell you something. This palette was honestly kind of ashy on my skin tone. It was kind of ashy. And I don't know why I bought it. Again, being young and just suckered into the hype. No, I don't need this palette. So actually, y'all did me a favor by discontinuing this, because this ain't good for my complexion. No. This one is one of my favorites, you all. We're going to the year 2015. Year 2015, y'all. This is from Becca Cosmetics. And this is back when Jaclyn Hill was that girl. Becca and Jaclyn Hill collaboration they did. And this was the original champagne pop. And this is from that launch, because I went out, drove across town to get it. As you can see, I've hit pan on it. This is from that original launch. And when I say this highlighter was everything. This highlighter, so okay, Whisper Guilt was on first, but this highlighter was what was on next. This highlighter was everything. It sold out. You couldn't get it. And then they, luckily, even after they took Jaclyn's name off of it, they still kept selling it. And I'm like, great, because the girls wanted it. And you can still buy it. Of course, now, people got scared and nervous when Becca was going out of business, but luckily, Smashbox bought them. And if you go in Sephora now, they still have the champagne pop. So you all, you can rejoice. Don't have to worry. You can still get Becca Champagne Pop. And what I must say, this is so good that I actually want it back up. Oh, this next one, you all. This one had a hold on the community. This one had a hold on the community, y'all. This was summer 2016. Was it summer 2016? Anyway, it was 2016. This is none other than the Tart Shape Tape. Yes, Tart Shape Tape. This is really the contour shape tape, because people was really beating down with it. You all, let me tell you something. This was everywhere. It's so thick. Everybody swore up and down that your under eye highlight was not on, was not beat if you didn't use this right here. And I was like, okay, I needed to. But here's the thing. Tarte has a horrible reputation of shade ranges, and yeah, the shade ranges in this was actually terrible, and it really wasn't right. And then on top of that, it was thick and cakey. So this is honestly one of those things that enforce the original formula. No, I would not repurchase. Now, I do like their new version, which I've heard me speak about, the ultra creamy version. Now that has a more modern feel and has a better shade range, but this original one that broke the internet, y'all can have it. I would not repurchase this again. So no. All right, you all, we are in 2016. We are in full-on heyday YouTube makeup hype. You all, this palette was so overhyped. Oh my gosh, this palette was so overhyped. It was sold out everywhere and you had to get your hands on it or you weren't living right. And I remember driving across town to get this palette. And this is none other than the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. This is my original palette from that era. Girl, this is what started the pinky, orangey, warm toned makeup trend. All the palettes that came after 2016 followed suit. This is the one that started the trend. Yeah, this palette was everywhere and you can't miss it. Now personally, looking back, I do not wear pink makeup like that, so I'm like, why did I buy this? Why I don't need it. I don't. And I quickly stopped using it as soon as after I got it too, but I was able to say I had it though, because you know, makeup hype was real. But for that reason, this changed the game in makeup and really solidified ABH's eyeshadow palettes. So that's why this right here is on this list. Okay, y'all, ode to my girl Jaclyn Hill, because she on this list again. This time she's here in 2017 and she's here with Morphe. You all, this palette was it and you had to get it. It was hard to get, but I got it. And this is the original one. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. Get into it, y'all. This palette was everything. It has all the shades on the back. And I remember it was a big deal because this palette was $38, which is, you know, Morphe palettes were only like $25 back then. So everybody was like, why is it more expensive just because it got Jaclyn's name on it? Dare I say, the extra money was worth it because, y'all, this palette was actually extremely good. It's one of the best palettes Morphe ever made. And it's not even just on some like influencer collab. The formula was actually good. So this is what it looks like. Check it out on the inside. I used this palette for so many looks. I ended up putting it in my my client rotation palettes. Yeah, I made so many looks off of this thing. Like, this was great when I was an artist. That's why I can say this palette, it deserved to be iconic. It deserved the hype. It was great. It was fabulous. And I'm glad I still have my original one. It's been reformulated. You can still buy it. There's been some controversy about whether it's still vegan or cruelty free or whatnot. I'm not sure. I didn't get into their wing for this video. But you can still buy the palette. But some people are still mad saying it's not like this one. So to each his own, buy at your own risk. Y'all, this next one is iconic and not for good reasons, but since we're talking iconic makeup, we gotta have a little bit of notorious makeup on here too. And to me, 2017 gave us to me the most notorious eyeshadow palette ever, and it's from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This was hard. And if you know, you know. This is none other than the Subculture palette. This palette, to me, caused so much drama. Like, this palette was extremely hyped up, but then when it came out and it was trash, it was chalky, people dragged influencers for calling it trash and they got mad. But then actually it turns out the influencers weren't lying about it. No, the palette was actually chalky and a mess. Y'all, it looks so pretty. This palette has so much potential to be great. Like, I was excited about this palette, but it's straight chalk. And then, as you now know, for those that shop at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, these were found all up and through TJ Maxx and Marshalls. You can still find it in there today. And this palette is from 2017. But yeah, so this is the most iconic, horrible fall from grace palette, and therefore it deserves to be on this list. On a better note, 2017 also gave us something that we are still loving and reveling in today. 2017 gave us the birth of Fenty Beauty, and specifically it gave us the breakout hit, which was the Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation. Yes, the infamous 40 shades. When I tell you, that was such a huge deal at the time. And the reason that deserves to be on this list is because Fenty's launch of their 40 shades of foundation that actually matched black girl skin, because I ran out and bought it too, it made everybody else step up their formulations. It made everybody step up their shade range. It also made everybody step up their undertones, because for the longest, everybody was just putting anybody deeper than tan and everything had to be warm. So everybody's makeup was orange if you were like my complexion and darker. Everybody kept making everything warm, but no, we actually got cool. We actually got neutral. We had warm. Like, we had olive. Fenty understood and listened to what the girls wanted, and this is why this foundation stayed sold out. Specifically, the shades in the 400, which was for my chocolate ladies. Oh, 400s, as soon as they took it off the truck, you had to go to be standing right there to buy it, or you weren't gonna get it, because honey, the deeper shades were gone. Me personally, I wear in the mid 300s, and even still, my shades were kind of gone too. But honey, the 400s, you had to fight over that. And so she proved that yes, you can make money, and there's a demand and need for everybody that's darker than tan. So for that reason, I give Fenty its true kudos, because it changed the complexion and shade range game. Yes. This last one is one that I hate. Is so limited edition that I really wish they would have brought it back, and they never did. But I am fortunate in that I was smart enough in its time that I acted on it. And this highlighter, yes, it's another highlighter. The glow era is eternal, and it will never die for me. This highlighter came out in 2018. This was from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's when Anastasia and Unreasy collaborated, and they gave us this right here, the Unreasy highlighter. I remember ordering this from Ulta so fast. I remember stalking the truck to make sure they wouldn't lose my package. I remember coming home on my lunch break early to grab my package off my front porch because I wanted to make sure I had it. And yeah, I have it. And this is what it looks like. This highlighter right here broke the internet, and they never restocked it. They toyed on our heartstrings. We kept thinking, oh, it's back on the website, and it really wasn't. It would be a glitch. It wasn't on there. So if you didn't buy it in that initial launch, you didn't get it. And they never brought it back. And they never brought back anything like it either. This highlighter here is so pretty, and it's buttery. It's so buttery. Like, I wear this highlighter when I'm feeling like real bossed up. I'm going out. I don't wear this highlighter every day because, again, I can't get it again. It's just so pretty. And let me tell you right now, this is one of those, if they bring it back, I'm buying too. I will wish I had the opportunity to buy this again, but I don't. But I must acknowledge the era that this was, because, and Unreasy is still that girl. I still follow her to this day. So all right, everyone, I hope y'all enjoyed this lovely trip down memory lane and reviewing iconic makeup products. As you can see, a lot of this I actually would buy again, but as you see, there's a few I'm like, no, why was this hyped up? What was life about? But elves, let me know in the comments, what was some hyped up makeup products that you think deserves to be on this list, or what are some you don't think should be on this list? I love to hear it all. Let me know. Until next time, elves, I'll catch y'all in the next Elfmas video. Bye, y'all.